link to people right now as well, so that people can be joining us on Facebook or YouTube. And we're going to do this together. So, 1 second. There you go. Okay. So, welcome to Conscious Life Collective, and welcome to our very special series that we do every Sunday at 12 with Michael Ocher. My name is Julia Bernatsky. I am the co-founder of Untamed Cards and the founder of I'm the co-founder of Conscious Life Collective and founder of Untamed Cards.
And I am Mickey Preventure. I am a co-founder of Conscious Life Collective. And I'm really excited to have Michael Ocher here with us this morning to be talking about the consciousness and the energy of the week, and really to help us all to be conscious about what is happening in the cosmos and also in our world, to be able to be aligned with the energies and guided by the energy that's available to us to be able to make the best choices for this upcoming week.
Welcome, Michael.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone.
So we have a little surprise, guys. I'm going to surprise. So this week is all about suspending the judgment. One of the very important part of our work right now, since we're in the energy of Virgo, is to suspend judgment. To suspend judgment to what's happening around us, to ourselves, to people around us, and allow space for things to unfold. So today, I did not plan for it, but we have a very unexpected one more guest, and it is Diana from Miami. So why don't we get some sunshine energy into this space? Like, she's just showed up because I sent her wrong link. Today the technology is acting up. So I sent her wrong link. She's showing up, and like, why don't we get this sunshine right now? Diana, send us some love from Miami.
I'm sending you love. No judgment. It's so much easier not to judge here. These waves take all the judgment away. Mwah, love and peace.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mute myself because I think you have a lot of noise.
Yeah.
But I'm with
That's
you.
flashing.
Amazing to be with you guys. Thank you for making this amazing mistake.
Thank
You have
you.
my
Thank
favorite teacher right there. Listen to him. He knows
There
what
you
he's saying.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I'm muting myself with you.
Okay. So back to the consciousness
Yeah.
and energy of the week connection. We started from saying that suspend judgment, and there's a reason for it. This is what this energy is all about. The work that we need to do is to allow space and to go with life and allow it to show us, but at the same time, instead of judging it, go with it and see what happens. Ask for signs, ask for lessons to see what the lesson is. And remember that whatever we see in the other person that is kind of like triggers us, pushes our buttons, it is something that we have inside of ourselves. So look at that person as a messenger who's just a mirror for us to see what is it that we need to work on a little bit more, pay a little bit more attention, and also be gentle with yourselves and other people. So with that, may I invite you, Michael, to the main stage.
For sure. Thank you. Thank you for the intro. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Mickey. Thank you, Diana. So we are in an incredible time of the year. Very, very, very special. It's the month of Virgo, one of the most positive months of the whole year. And its main, each month has a gift. And last week we spoke about some of the gifts that this month has. It's called Elul in Aramaic. In Kabbalistic terminology, it's called Virgo in common astrology and common language. It's the sign of perfection. It's the sign of, the Virgin, the perfected state. And we want to, it's a very special time because the opportunity for change is amplified this month. Is really, really, that's the broadcast of, that's the energy that's being broadcast in the universe, is change, transformation in a merciful way, in a joyful way, in an easy way, not with difficulty. So there's many aspects to change. There is the reducing of the things that limit us and that cause us limitations and what some people call negativity. And then there is the increasing of the positive. There's two sides. So you want to be aware of both of them. On one side, you want to be reducing how much you engage yourself in limiting beliefs and limiting behavior, meaning something that doesn't bring any blessing after or any positivity after. And then there's behavior that does more to your life. So you want to be aware of yourself. You want to be aware of where you stand, where you are, and where you want to go. Because actually, believe it or not, but you might as well believe it, that there is a huge opportunity for us. The real new year is happening in less than a month. So this is the time when you want to be in the mindset of closing the old, closing last year, and starting a new year. And there's some things that help us propel us into the future, help us get to our best version of ourselves, and things that hold us back. Very simple. Things that hold us back are things like criticism. And that's something that we want to avoid this month. That it's a natural tendency of a Virgo to be critical, to be in a state of judgment, to be in a state of seeing the wrong, seeing what's wrong with other people, what's wrong with myself, what's wrong with society, what's wrong with systems, what's wrong with groups of people, etc. And that's the limiting belief. That's something that prevents you from growing. Criticism is not good towards anyone. Something to point out what can be improved and how to improve it, that's great, right? I want to see, wow, I tend to have an unorganized time off for myself, for example. Some people have that. Some people don't have, when they finish working, etc., they don't have a plan of like, what can I do, and just start going a little bit unbalanced, right? And they don't know if to binge watch a show, if to start going out, if to eat, if to go out with friends, etc. So they can't, it's hard to find balance. So you want to find balance in that. And there's a beautiful teaching that I just literally heard this Saturday from one of our teachers, or director, Michael Ocher of the Kabbalah Center. He shared something completely beautiful, and I really want to share it with you. And he shared that the place where we are right now, whether it be a place that we like it or not, or specifically place if you do like it, if you're a spiritual person, it's not even something that you might have chosen, but you were chosen for that. You were, whatever you're doing, wherever role you're playing in your life, you are actually chosen as somebody who's going to do that. So it's not that I chose it, but it's actually the system, the creator, the universe. My soul chose that. It's a beautiful realization. It's very humbling. It also means that if anybody's, in my perspective, doing something completely wrong, actually, it wasn't them who chose that, to be in that role, but it was actually the creator, the universe, who put them into that role. It's a really deep thought when you really, really internalize it, that it's not necessarily my choice. A lot of times what people do, it wasn't their choice. It was actually something that they just had to do for other people, or for the correction of their soul, etc., for many different reasons. So we want to awaken more humbleness, more understanding that as great as I think I am, it wasn't even me who kind of put myself there. It was actually the universe, the creator, who put me into that role. So that's very, very humbling. And humbleness is obviously something, a trait we want to cultivate and, you know, amplify in ourselves. And humbleness also means that I really need assistance, that I really need support from other people, from the creator, from the universe, from my guides, etc. So this month, I think I mentioned it last week, that the ability to receive guidance, to hear guidance, to let go is amplified like never before. Now, letting go is something very, very deep. Letting go is not necessarily intuitive to us, especially when we are attached to a person, when we are attached to an outcome, we're attached to a feeling, when we're attached to a group of people, etc., to a belief. When we're attached to something, letting go is not something that will just come to you in a blink of an eye. However, it could. We really want to focus on letting go. How do I let go of people, of situations, of expectations? How can I move on? How can I be in the future? How can I be in the next version of myself? So obviously we want to ask the creator for help, right? You want to ask, creator, help me let go of the situation. Realize that it's not about that, it's that you want to let go of this and then latch on to something else. Really, you want to be able to let go of every situation in your life, of every individual, not in a bad way, not that people are bad, but you want to be able to let go of other people in your life also. Expectations from other people. When you expect other people to behave a certain way, that you expect them to do things for you, you're setting yourself up for a trap, because if they're not going to do it, then you're going to be disappointed, you're going to be blaming them, etc. It's not something that you want to, that's not a mindset you want to be in. So letting go is like an active process that you are constantly learning. How do I let go? How do I move on? How do I learn everything from this person and accept them as they are? That it's okay. That it's okay that they are this way, that they don't do things the way I want them to. They don't see the world I want them to. And it's okay. It's time to accept. It's time to accept. So we want to be in a mindset of acceptance, of fully accepting the way things are. Because the way people are, it's not even necessarily their choice. They are just performing something that they have to do for this universe. And that's, in the month of Virgo, it's actually something that you can improve in yourself, because the month of Virgo is very zoomed in. It's very detailed oriented. It's very small picture. It's not necessarily a big picture sign or an individual. So for you to be able to zoom out and say, you know what, there must be a bigger picture to this whole experience. I don't see it, but there must be a bigger picture for this. And I want to go and I want to do the uncomfortable. I want to do what is not natural to me, what is not necessarily my, my body's telling me, my limited self is telling me. I want to do what will help me grow and push me to my next limit. So it's another thing that we want to focus on. We want to focus on going out of our comfort zone, stepping outside of it, and entering the zone of growth. Because growth is always outside your comfort zone. Doesn't mean that stepping outside is uncomfortable, but it's not something that you're used to. So if I'm used to a certain way of life, a certain way of outlook, a certain way of thinking, a certain way of feeling, everything, thoughts, emotions, behavior, everything in your life can be altered, changed, and improved. Nothing is set in stone. Literally nothing. Nothing. Everything can be changed. And you want to connect it to the truth. So, like I mentioned last week also, whenever you feel a sense of discomfort, it's a sensation that's telling you that something needs to be changed and transformed. Something needs to be transformed. A very powerful time this month to take time and go out to nature, because nature allows you to be yourself. When we're surrounded, for example, in New York, I spent the last Saturday in New York, and it's obviously, I love New York, it's a beautiful city, but when you're surrounded by so much structure, by so much limitation, by so much limits, it's hard for you to be yourself, to feel yourself, to express yourself. So when I'm going out to nature, I'm able to connect and reveal my true self, reveal my ability to connect with the nature, connect with the divine. As beautiful as any building can be, nature is supremely beautiful, completely something that you can never imitate ever. Mountains, nature, ocean, valleys. There's something so divine in it that it's hard to imitate. So I want to proactively go out into nature, connect to it, and receive support. Connect to my true self. Maybe there's some desires that I'm holding that are not really true and that will not bring good for me. There's a beautiful concept also in Kabbalistic terminology that you are a host. You're a host of desires. So imagine that you're hosting desires in your body, in your mind, in your soul, in your heart. You're hosting things. I'm a host. What kind of a host am I? What am I? Who am I hosting? What am I hosting? So you want to be aware of it. What kind of desires am I hosting? Am I hosting to get acceptance from people? Am I hosting to get validation from people? Am I hosting a desire to be just physically pleased by people? Am I hosting a desire to just eat? Am I hosting a desire to run away from reality? What kind of desires am I hosting within myself? What am I hosting in general? Because what you're hosting is what's going to be growing inside of you. My teacher Rav used to give a beautiful example. If you let a negative person or being into your house and they start occupying a room, eventually they start to move into another room and another room and another, and they just take over the whole house. So you don't want to be hosting any desires that don't bring you lasting fulfillment. So I really want to understand, am I hosting a desire to be validated by people, for example? Am I hosting a desire to be accepted by other people? Am I hosting a desire to look good in other people's eyes? Am I hosting a desire of expectations from my family? Am I hosting a desire to control the situation? Am I hosting a situation to look good in the situation? What kind of desires am I hosting within myself? And I obviously want to get rid of all the desires that are limiting, that are small, that are not that don't have continuation. And I want to create as much as possible continuity. To let go, push out all the desires that don't serve me, and be a host of desires that propel me to grow, propel me to be a better version of myself, prepare me to go to my next level, etc. So what am I hosting? That's very deep. That's why it's good to do even on a physical level, to do housekeeping right now, to check whatever is in your space, get rid of everything that you don't need. That's, spirituality, it's the real understanding of spirituality is not just what's in my mind or when I meditate or, when I just connect or what I share. It's actually every single object in your living space, in your car, in your traveling bags, in your house, in your kitchen. Everything is a representation of something. Everything. From the highest desires to the lowest objects. Everything is spirituality. In Kabbalah, we don't separate the physical and the spiritual. It's all one. Everything is one. So you want to look at it that way. Are you holding on to physical objects also from some people or situations that don't really serve you? So you want to have cleanliness on all levels. So going out to nature helps a lot. This is really the time to be in nature, to be connecting to nature. It will help you. The idea of the soul is you're not always necessarily connecting to your soul. If you practice and put too much emphasis, too much effort into your 1% reality, into your limiting beliefs, that creates the space and separation between myself and my soul. the more proactive I am, the more positive thinking, the more sharing I do, the more truth I practice, the closer I bring my soul into myself, into my life. So when I go out into nature, my ability to connect to my soul is amplified. When I, for example, enter natural sources of water to cleanse myself, the separation between myself and my soul becomes less. The soul is able to manifest in my body much stronger. The soul is able to tell me, to guide me, listen, to remind you, why did you come into this world? To remember the contract, quote unquote. Kabbalistically and spirituality, we know that we have a contract that we made with the universe, with the creator, to help us see and understand, to help us accomplish our goal. So maybe it's time to reawaken that understanding. What was my contract? What kind of commitment did I make in the upper world? And ultimately, that's actually the only thing we're obligated to do in this world. It's the only obligation I have is the contract that I signed in the upper world. Are you fully aware of it? Do you know that you can know it? Did you know that it's totally accessible to you? Did you know that there is no limit to how much you can grow spiritually? Did you know that you can completely be in your full potential right now? Did you know that you can be living your best life right now? Did you know that you are living your best life right now, actually? As much as you would argue right now, you are living the best life you could be. Are you fully aware of that? Are you fully aware that every single instance in your life is actually perfect? Every single instance in your life is perfect. Every situation, every individual, every occurrence in your body is perfect. There's actually no such thing as mistakes. It's a total false belief. It's a total delusion to think that there is mistakes in our life, in our universe, in etc. There's no such thing as mistakes. Everything is perfect. Everything is in perfect order. Every single individual is in a perfect place that they need to be. Every single individual. Nobody's in the wrong place. Nobody is having a total disconnection from the creator. Nobody is forgotten by the creator. Everyone is supported by the creator all the time. Are you fully aware of that? Are you fully aware that the creator is always with you, supporting you all the time? All these things we really want to have very strongly imprinted in our consciousness. You want to have these fundamental understandings in you embedded that are going to be like magnets or like guiding forces that will be taking to where you need to be. And we want to activate our intuition also. We want to be fully connected to our intuition. We all have intuitive senses. We all have intuitive abilities that will guide you to where you need to be, to guide you to sail, help you sail towards the right direction. And, by practicing spirituality, you awaken that ability more and more and more. Julia, do you have any addition or?
Yes, there's just so much. There's so much, and at the same time, everything is so simple, and that's the beauty of it. It's like allowing yourself. I was taking a lot of notes and I was trying to post it. Just allowing yourself to connect to your truth, and from that place, everything aligns. And the tools that you can use is going out to nature, like Michael was saying. There's different tools that we can do. We can journal, we can meditate, but all of this is so simple. It's a shift of consciousness. It's connecting to the higher it brings us to the higher vibration of energy. That's what nature does. When you're in the nature, you're in a higher place. Whether you know it or not, you may not be aware of it, but your whole being is opening up, and people are saying, like, what did you just do? Or what, like, often people will ask you, something changed. It's not about what you were doing. It's about what you are connecting to. It's about that seamless, invisible shift that makes a whole difference in the world. It's that place when you align with your truth, and all of a sudden you start to receive information. All of a sudden you look at people around you differently, and you're able to let go, because let go sounds amazing, but sometimes we just don't grasp it. Like logically it's understandable, but how do I actually experience that without suppressing it, right? There's a difference between suppressing something and actually letting
Yeah,
go.
100%.
Isn't there, Michael?
100%. You want to be honest with yourself. A lot of people love
Yeah.
suppressing emotions or desires or, you know, belief systems, etc. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about there is certain things that are true, and there are certain things that are false. So I want to be connecting to the truth, to identifying, you know what, this belief is actually not, this belief, this person that abuses me, that abuses, disrespects me, this situation, this behavior that doesn't serve me is not good for me. Thinking that I have to stay with this is going to limit me. Move on to the future, to the good, believing fully, having certain certainty and faith and understanding that there's something better for me. That's a true belief, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's a connection. It's actually is that invisible line, the connection with the creator, that is so strong, that allows us, gives us strength and courage to leave the situations that are not good for us, right? Because it's not easy. It's easy to say, but it's not easy. That it's a lot. It's work.
it requires a lot of courage.
Courage.
That's why courage in spirituality is one of the main attributes that you need to have developing in life in general, continuously, is to be more and more brave. To be more and more brave, to be not just brave, but courageous. You know, to be courageous that, you know what, I have enough courage in me to let go of a certain situation. And we're constantly, every single one of us is constantly working on increasing and having more courage. You know, and we want to get to a place where it's bravery, where you're brave, when it's not even a fear, is not even a, you know, consideration for you. You're totally sure. You know, this is one of the beautiful attributes that my teacher, the Rav, had, and both Rav and Karen, because in order to be highly spiritual, you need to have courage and bravery. You know, because the world is not necessarily going to agree with you all the time.
Yeah.
The world is living by different laws right now, by different beliefs. So to go out and tell people, you know, I'm not gonna believe this anymore because this doesn't really ultimately make me or anyone really happy, and I'm not gonna go on to peer pressure and just do it because I was told to. I'm brave enough and I'm courageous enough to do something else, to do something that my soul is telling me, that my gut feeling is telling me. So it's a beautiful, beautiful attribute to be courageous. You're not avoiding fear. It's not like you're saying the fear is not there, but you are saying that behind the fear is where more growth is, where more fulfillment is. And suppression is definitely not a good option. Suppression is going to eventually explode. So never be in the mode of suppressing feelings. This is, by the way, a good reminder for a month of Virgo that they tend to, it's not the most emotional side, so they tend to suppress feelings and emotions. They're like, oh, it's okay, I have something to do, it doesn't matter. Emotions are irrelevant right now. I have more important things to focus on. So focus, connect to the ability of observing them, but at the same time not to be swallowed up by them, not to be destroyed by the emotions. Okay? Feel it, understand it. What is it telling you? Where is it coming from? What is it guiding you towards? But don't be on the extremes of being totally swallowed or totally disconnected. Be in the central column, in the balance.
The balance.
Yeah.
And I want to offer one more thought here, because listen, I really truly believe that we're not meant to do any of this alone. That having community, having mentors, having people who can help us create openings when we need assistance with that, um, having people in our life who will help us to awaken consciousness or awareness of something, because sometimes we get so caught up in our thoughts. It's like Michael say, especially being a Virgo, like in the Virgo energy, Like you don't have to be a Virgo, but we are all in the Virgo energy. So we're able to see more details, we're able to see, to be more zoomed in. So when you in that state, you are one way or another might be overlooking things or seeing just a part of the picture. You may not see like the whole view, right? Zooming out when you see a bigger picture. So we sometimes need help. Like I know with myself, I love personal examples. Like with my personal life, I don't know what I would do without my mentors. I don't know what I would do without my friends who I can call and ask for reflection. So having community and people in your life who you can ask for reflection or ask to just be with you, be in that space. Help me to zoom out. Help me to not be so Virgo, to be so, judging the moment, seeing the detail and focusing on just one thing. The picture is much bigger. And
Yeah.
that ability to be connected to your truth is very much aligned with the ability to zoom out. Because in that space, you can see the truth or be closer to it. And I feel like zooming out, you're getting closer to the source also.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Yeah. And it's not that it's always easy, right? That's where you need to learn to let go or detach from kind of who you are, right? We value our beliefs ourselves very highly, so it's like, oh, well, this is my truth, and there's no way I see things any other way. But you want to be able to detach yourself from the situation, detach yourself, and look at it from a side, look at it from an observer point of view, not necessarily somebody who's involved in the situation, but just being an observer. How is it? How does the whole situation look like from a side? I don't want to be swallowed up by the situation. I want to be free from it. I want to be. I want to look at it from the creator's perspective. That's ultimately what I want. I don't want to be looking at it necessarily from my or from anyone else's perspective, the creator's perspective. So, and again, there's so much. I really want to say that there's a lot of support in this month. So you want to activate it. You want to be in the full mode of like, wow, there's so much support. My main desire this month is to grow, to be a better version of myself, to change, to progress, to transform, to connect more. Just being in all those positive mindsets. But this is my goal. This is what my target is. This is the desire I'm hosting. These are the desires I'm hosting this month. I want to change, transform. Every day I'm changing something. Every hour, every minute, I'm in a constant state of transformation, evolution, becoming a better version of myself. Not that I'm becoming someone else, becoming a totally brand new version of myself. Think of this time as the New Year's resolutions, but you don't just want to be in the mindset of planning the resolutions. That's also very important. I don't want to be in the mindset, oh, this is my plan for the new year. This is my plan. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. Do it now. It's not the time of plan. True transformation doesn't happen necessarily in plan. Like diet starts tomorrow, right? How people love to say. Or I'll do that next week. Do it. Make it as if you're doing it already. Make it as if it's the new year right now. Don't be in the mindset of like, oh, I have 3 weeks. I'm going to work on changing that. No, do it now. Do it. Transform it. Like you said, Juliet, go to your friends. If you have friends who practice or study spirituality, who come to the Kabbalah Center, talk to them. Share opinions. Ask them for guidance. Ask them what they think about a certain situation. Beautiful way to connect. Karen, I think I shared it before, but Karen Berg always had this incredible ability of asking advice from absolutely everyone. Literally, you never know who might have an incredibly different perspective to a certain situation. You still get to choose what you do. You can never blame or say that you did it because of someone else. Take responsibility for every single decision, every single action that you do. But you do want to get as many perspectives as possible. That's how you're going to make the best decision. Ask everyone. Karen, it's incredible. Karen would ask literally everyone for an opinion. I remember when I just became one of the teachers, and I moved to Los Angeles, and then I saw Karen somewhere, and Karen's like, "Oh, so how's it going? What do you think can be made better? Like, what can you?" And I was like, "Oh, "What? Like, I'm just very grateful to be here. I don't have an opinion of what to change, etc. Or like, who am I to express it?" But actually, people that come into a certain situation, they have that new inspiration of kind of seeing something in a different way. When it's something that you're used to, it's a little bit harder to see a different perspective. You get used to it. It's like you're like, oh yeah, that's just how they are. But when you're new to something, it's easier to see. So maybe this energy, by the way, the keyword in that is new. So maybe we want to feel like we're new also, to feel this newness, to feel this kind of beginning state. Like, by the way, month of Virgo, newness, right? New, fresh energy, different perspectives, etc. So that's another tip for the month of being in a state of newness. I am new. I'm constantly renewed. And it's, by the way, it's true. That's a true belief that you are new and you're constantly renewed. You're never old. One of the reasons people get old is because they think they're getting old. But in reality, they're new all the time. They're new creation. Every day is new. Every moment is new. So being in this state of newness, of like fresh, that like sense of creation, right? One of the meditations we have in the Kabbalah Center that we always do is we connect to the thought of creation, the process, and the energy of creation. It's something such a revitalizing energy, just like artists, right, Julia? When you want to create, right, and you create something new, you have this like inspiration, right, and like. So this energy of newness is also available in the month of Virgo. New, fresh, revitalizing, renewing, etc.
I love that. It's so beautiful because
Yeah.
this is what life is. This is when we are feeling like we have wings. Like I feel like I can fly. We know how to fly. Like people have different experiences of it. But when you are plugged in into the source, and some people walk their life plugged in all the time. What we're talking about is put yourself in a situation when you can plug in into the source, when you can create, when you're becoming the creator. It feels amazing. You're in the zone, and you know that feeling. Each one of us knows that feeling. So like to have the desire to go back to that feeling. And it's not going back. It's to go to like it's kind of finding the way to yourself. Because this is where you truly are. Because when you align with that space, this is your path. This is your reason why we're here. This is our like place where we feel aligned, where we feel happy. This is that place. And we have the time right now to have support from the universe, number one, right? And number two, like consciously make a choice that I want my life. And I'm not putting words in your mouth or anybody's mouth, but at least that's what I'm saying to myself. I want my life to be in a way when I feel fulfilled at the end of the day. And I am fulfilled at the end of the day when I align with my truth. When I go at least part of the day connected to that place where I am creating.
Yes.
It could look very different. You could be creating food. You can making food. You can make food. You can speak with friends. You can create projects. It looks so different for different people. So,
Totally.
and
Yeah.
it's the most humble place to be, because in that place you're truly aligned, and there's no justification needed for
Yeah.
anything.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much for this very powerful time. And I just want to add one thing. When Michael says, like, studying Kabbalah, it doesn't have to be Kabbalah. It could be anything. Like I study Kabbalah, so that's my source and my way and my path to connect. But different people, there are many different paths that bring you to the same place. The place is the same, the creator is the same. We are all one. The energy, the being, it's all oneness, togetherness. It doesn't matter how you get there. You might have a different practice. You might have different mentors from different paths of lives and spirituality and locations. It doesn't matter. You can try different things and see what aligns with you. Like what aligns with me is I study Kabbalah, and that's where I find my answers and my ener- conscious and energy support. Like I was saying, we should not be doing it alone. Nobody should be doing it alone. So that's my community. That's my teachers, right? But they're different ones. Everybody has their own.
100%. 100%.
Like I
There's
know,
many different ways and paths to get to the source. As long as you understand that there is a journey, that there is this experience of, you want to call it a path, journey, transformation, whatever you want to call it, but as long as you understand there's something more than just the physical. The way, it's up to you, but you want to understand there is more than just the physical.
yes. Like I know Mickey has connection every Monday. Mickey, I'm gonna bring you in for a second. I know you have connection every Sunday,
Yeah, very much
right?
so. Mhm.
And sometimes you tell me like, oh my God, we just spoke about that.
Yes. And honestly, Julie and I had about 8 minutes to talk prior to our going live today. And like each of the themes that we talked about came up, whether it was something that we talked about in our personal or something in our growth areas, or it like I said just before we went live, I said, oh boy, I feel like I'm going to get hit over my head with a couple 2x4s today. So yeah, I mean, the things I wrote down were really reducing those limiting beliefs and getting rid of the things that don't serve you or are not a blessing to you and are not bringing you closer to what your goal is. And I hear that a lot, but today it's like, it's like before it was like a sticky note that would fall off. And today it just like went inside, right? So I think sometimes hearing something that we've heard multiple times before, but just organized in a different way, and at that time that we're ready to receive the information. And humbling ourselves was another one for this today that Julia and I just talked about within minutes of going live, and being more accepting and less critical, and then being able to recognize that the people in our lives or the things that are happening in our lives are meant as a lesson, and it's very purposeful that they're there or happening to us or happening for us. As we've had the discussion before, things don't happen to you, they happen for you so that you can learn a lesson, and to be able to better yourself. So some pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, beautiful.
Mhm.
Michael, I know that throughout this conversation, you've done a number of things that you usually do during the meditation. You said certain things that are so important for us to feel and to know from the creative's perspective. And do you think we can have like a short meditation when we
Yeah,
actually
definitely. Let's
take
do it
this?
because I'm a strong believer in meditation, etc. And I really, it's an essential experience in spirituality. It's probably, there's no spiritual system that you're going to find that does not include meditation as part of it. So meditation is essential. And let's do a meditation. Let's internalize, like Nikki was saying, like things are, you have it in your mind, but then they kind of like penetrate and get into your core. So we want that. We want that these things that we just say are not just on a superficial level of us saying it and just thinking it, but becoming a part of it. That's what we want. That's the achievement that we want. And the great thing is that you don't need to go necessarily for difficult experiences to do that. You can internalize things just because you have a desire to internalize it, and that's it. So let's do a meditation. It's a very simple meditation. If it's hard for you, just keep your eyes closed and follow my voice. You don't have to visualize everything. You don't have to see everything. You just want to be open to it. You just want to be open to receiving the energy, receiving the guidance, receiving the support. So you want to close your eyes And you want to kind of land inside your heart, and you want to be very present in your heart. Your heart is your center of emotions. Your subconscious is more oriented in your heart. And you want to send your consciousness to the middle of the earth and pull in fresh new energy from the middle, from the core of the earth, and feel it come from the bottom of your feet through your entire body. Your feet, your calves, your knees, your thighs, your hips, all your torso, all your body, all your abdomen, your hands, your neck, and your head are being filled with fresh new energy. And you want to see how this energy pops from the top of your head and forms a beautiful ball of light. You want to visualize it and see what kind of color is your ball of light today. And then pretend you are in this ball of light. And send this ball of light above your body and feel it floating above our planet, traveling faster than the speed of light, zooming through the entire universe to the edge of the universe, going through layers of light and dark, going to a very bright layer of light, going higher, entering a golden, soothing, relaxing layer of light, going to the next plane that feels like jello or water, liquid-like. Keep going higher, and then visualize the opening of pearl-like energy above you. Approach this opening, and inhale, exhale, go through this opening, and enter the plane of the Creator, the endless light, the eternal, the source of all energy, all sustenance, all consciousness, all abundance, all health, all healing comes from here. You want to melt into this energy, become one with it, and we want to receive and experience things here. We want to receive the courage, as we spoke. We want to be courageous. We want to know what it means, what it feels like to be courageous, to stand up for what you believe in, to stand up for what you believe is true, to speak your words. If you want a download of courage from the Creator, say yes. If you want to live your life in acceptance, accepting of yourself, accepting of other people, accepting of where people are, accepting processes in your life, also say yes. I want to also give yourself an ability to float, to give yourself time to disconnect, to look at things from a different perspective, to revitalize your energy, to not be so attached. Feel yourself like a palm in the wind, just floating, relaxing. Being accepting of the changes that are coming. Always staying true to your core. Always staying true to yourself. Having the ability to listen to yourself. Having the ability to listen to your core. Listen to your soul. Listen to your truth. To appreciate yourself. Really appreciate you as a whole being, to appreciate the place you are in, the opportunities you have been given. So if you you want to know what it means and what it feels like to have true appreciation for everything in our life, for ourselves, for our gifts, for the people around us, for wherever it might be, for whatever happened in the past and whatever is coming to us in the future, all the blessings in our life. Say yes. And we want to be able to host more desires that will help us grow and propel us to connect to the source, to the creator, to the unconditional love of this universe. We want more and more desires, more and more drives that will push us into that direction. So if you want to be fully aware what kind of desires you're hosting, and to be aware and be able to transform and change what desires you have, to invite more positive, merciful, optimistic desires into your life, say yes. And to always know that you are always connected to the creator. You're always connected to the truth. You're always connected to creation. You always knew, constantly knew, from the seventh plane of the creator, or at least to every level of your soul, every level of your belief, every single cell of your body, if you want that, say yes. And also, it's a good time to receive a direct message from the universe, from the creator. Ask the universe, ask creator, I want to be open to more guidance. I am open. I am receiving messages. I am receiving guidance. I want to see something that I've never knew before. I want to have a revelation, enlightenment that I'm ready for. Help me, Creator. Bring it. Bring me to that place. And before we end, you want to rinse yourself in this beautiful energy. Fill yourself up with the Creator's endless light. Remember, you can do this anytime, as many times as you want during the week. It's available for you guys. Enjoy it, use it, share it, and hopefully we'll have an incredible week and we'll see you next week. Yes, Julia?
Ah, amazing. And you mentioned at the end messages, receiving messages from the universe, and it's actually a very special project from
Right.
of mine of Unseen Cards. And I'm just going to show you messages from the universe. The cards are right here. I usually have it on the sacred zone, and we
Right.
pull the message every Monday. And you can receive message again. You can receive message from anything and anywhere, and it's just such a powerful thing receiving messages. Would you
Yeah,
mind
please.
if I
Wanted
really
to ask you.
quickly pull a message for
Yeah.
us together? Let's do it. Okay. What do we need to hear today? Stay in that place that Michael took you guys together. What do we need to hear? Stay on team. Oh boy, stay on
Nice.
team. And believe that stay on team is really staying in the place where you're aligned with your truth. What do you think, Mike?
Beautiful, beautiful. Stay raw, stay true.
Stay true.
Genuine.
Genuine. I like that.
Yes. Let's do this, guys.
Awesome.
And let's be happy. Lana, thank you for your messages. Everybody is like, the people are writing messages. I'm surfacing some of them. And Lana is saying, thank you, Michael, Julie, and Mickey for
Thank
such
you.